Hi, so what I'm going to demo today is the Mercury story for this spring. This story about getting the Mercury cluster traffic of the VPN, and it start to using the director. Um, the benefit of that is it start to use the load balancing, and op engineer can control the traffic and network bandwidth and everything of the Mercury cluster. So a little bit more of the background. The reason for that is the Mercury index server. They when they need to pull data for an account, um, in this case, mean in email to down to its own local for indexing, it will try to connect to the mail server directly. So let's have a look at this server. The IP address of this server is this. So if we go to one of the mail server here, yes, we see it here. Um, Currently, right now, the cert one server connect to this mail server for pulling email. Um, so in order for the Mercury server start to use the director, um, we add an option in the config file in here. This option right here, it will tell the server that, hey, don't use the IP address of the mail server you have in for search user. Instead, override that value with this one. So let me go and update the config value of this server. Then I need to restart the search cluster. So after this, what we hope to see is when the search one and search two connect to mail server to pull data down, we will see the IP address the IP address of the director one. In this case, it will be 192.168.120. So let's have a look. It probably take a little bit time for the job start to run back up. One is another cert, the cert3 server. Yep, you can see in here the IP address of the server connect to this is yeah, even in here a of the director. Yeah, so it's just one simple option that we put in there. We can make the server connect to the director instead connect straight to the mail server. But this story, it doesn't end happily right there. In Mercury, we use the private IP address of the mail server for a couple other things, and one of them is to limit the number of connection from each of the index server to a mail server. The reason for that is we don't want to have all of the index thread connect to the same mail server, and at the same time pull the tons of data down, because that thing, it will some way it might kill the mail server. So we try to limit it, the number of index thread connect to one mail server to only one. And that's we have to use the correct private the correct mail server IP of each user. So when we switch to using the director, the thing happened. Let me trace back one step. In Mercury, we use the mail server IP. We connect straight to the mail server in the old algorithm. We connect straight to the mail server to put email down. If we cannot connect to that mail server, some error happen. We will try to update the IP address of that server for the user. From the we will pull data from the admin DB, postfix DB to update that IP address. Now we switch to using the director. It means that in theory we will never fail. It means that we don't have a chance to update the mail server address uh, for the search user, and that will lead to, by time the data we have on hand become invalid. User got moved around, but it have no chance to update the correct mail server in the search cluster. It means that the algorithm that it used the mail server to limited number of connection, that algorithm is just not working anymore. So we have to find another way to update the mail server if the user got moved around, so Mercury can still using the algorithm that limited number of connection to a mail server. um, Luckily, in our notification, Mercury notification, we have that mail server data in there. We can just ask Mercury to use that data and compare that data with the one that it have on hand. If we see that the notification have newer information, it means that the newer IP address when the user got moved around, Mercury will just update its own data to keep everything in sync. Um, in order to do that, we add an option in here. We say that, hey, if you see the data from the notification, the mail server field in that notification is newer than the one you have, or different from the one you have in the search cluster, updated. We have to restart the cluster. Okay, so so what I will do now is I will try to update this table. Set server okay. What I just did is I just remove all of the IP address of the account in this table, and now what I'm going to do here is I will run this script that I will send notification to the search cluster with the mail server. Just randomly put some value in here. In this case, like search 1, search 2, search 3. What I will need to check here is I just see, we got this set, restart. this it. Restart. This thing still send notification. Let's check the. Yep. We start to see, bunch of account got updated in here, because we asked Mercury server to update its data with the data from the notification. So with the second change that we add in here, it will ensure that the the search user information is always up to date, and the whole Mercury algorithm still working as before, as supposed to be. So that's my demo for the last sprint story.